Well, first of all, it's the first free week you've had since the season started off. What sort of planning and sort of preparations have you done this week with your squad?
Well, it's been good in the sense you're able to get some more information over to the players, how we want to play in the formations that we've been playing. Also good to get some work into some players that need it, top-ups, for example, and on the other hand, get some players off the feet who were feeling one or two knocks, but we feel we're having a really good week, leading into what's going to be a incredibly tough game away at Bradford.
What about the fitness? Fans look at how players are inside the first month after a pre-season. You obviously get all the data back. How did you see your players' fitness?
Yeah, really good, hitting really good numbers. The plans, obviously, you don't want to go in to the first game of the season at your peak because you'll soon fall down a cliff. You know, there's some building to be done or been done over the last 2 weeks to get them to where we feel we need them to be. There is a plan with that, with the sports science, but we're really pleased with them. We will run a little bit less if we keep the ball a little bit more. So, no, but pleased again, the attitude of the players, what they did on the off season, and then coming back ready to go for pre-season.
Obviously, you become one of the League Two's entertainers, no doubt about that, in your opening few weeks of the season. But I suppose those 8 goals against it in the league are concerning to you. What are you doing, and how do you try to stop that?
Well, you look at how the source, what's the source of the problem? Where's that coming from? Is it then individual? And I don't think there's been really glaring errors. Perhaps one. So it's just about adjusting the positions, because what we don't want to do is put the fear into the players. You've got rigid and structured in terms of not conceding goals, and it takes away from the exciting players we've got in the team. So there's going to be some to and fro throughout the season. I've already said that. I'm not ashamed to say that. But obviously, you know, the more goals you concede, the more you have to score at the other end. It's the hardest thing to do in the game, is to score goals. So we have addressed it. We are looking at it. But again, it won't be to the detriment of making the players rigid and scared deaf to go out and express themselves.
But you've had a lot of good positive moments in those games as well, haven't you? And I suppose we spoke to Ryan Dicker, and I think you've even made a comment. The real aim is to try and dominate games a bit longer. Yeah,
and that's the aim, and we want to do that. We want to have longer spells with the football, obviously then to hurt the opponent, and work on the things that we've been working on. Sometimes because you have the ball for a period of time, people then begin to force things. That's fine if they do. Because we're putting in little plans in place to, when the game speeds up, what we're going to be looking for, who's going to be in the box, for example. But we do want to dominate with the ball more, as much as we can, really, particularly at home.
You brought those new signings in. You had them in the pre-season. Now you've got them in the team. They've all featured in the team. Happy with it. First of all, how they've all settled into what your new environment for them is. Yeah,
they've settled in really well. The good blokes, professional. They've settled in really well, and you know that's down to the people who are already here, welcoming them in. Know that the people are coming in to try and improve us on the pitch. I haven't got any faults with them at the minute in terms of being on the pitch. That they're taking in the information we want. We're not trying to go away from what they're good at. That's the reason they come to the club. But there is a couple of things that we are slightly different, which again they're taking on the messages on board really well, and I've said it numerous times, really good additions for us.
Drawing to a close that first window. Anything for the fans that you can let them know how it's developing? Anything that you hope can happen?
You're dying to hear something, are you?
We can ask. This is probably the last time we can ask this question till sort of December.
Yeah. No, look, we are trying to do some bits. We are. Not only players coming in, but players also trying to help with their careers the other way. So hopefully we might get a couple over the line. We took a phone call this morning in terms of something we're trying to do. So we're hopeful, but I can't guarantee you that they do come off. Again, we have to be within our means of what we can do.
Well, the immediate focus, of course, you already mentioned it. You're off to Bradford. Still one of the big hitters in League Two.
Yeah, really big club, good players, really big stadium, get a good following. They were there or thereabouts, weren't they, last year? I'm pretty sure they'll be there again. Bags of experience in the team. recruited really well with some athleticism into their team. Obviously, Mark Hughes, wealth of knowledge of football. I'm sure that he commands the respect of his players, and so they can implement what they want to. But yeah, really tough game, and I expect them to be in the mix come the end of the season.
And of course, as you've just mentioned, you know, they attract massive crowds, don't they? But it's one that I'm pretty sure that you want your players to go out and embrace and relish.
Yeah, we've said that before. We get to play at Sunderland and things like that. And I said it ages ago. When you're a little kid, you want to be playing in front of big crowds. That's what you see as a kid, isn't it? Lots of these players anyway have played. They've all probably played at Bradford and played at other stadiums as well. And you know, we want to thrive off that and take the game to them.
Just looking finally at how the injury situation is.
Yeah, okay. Charlie Colquette's away at St George's Park. He comes back tomorrow. He'll get a day's rest in between that. Charlie Finney's been out training. No reaction, again, touch wood, but it's about getting him to the match speed. So the plan's in place. He won't be in the squad Saturday. He'll play Monday for the 21s to see if we can get it somewhere, so see what the response is. Courtney's been out there, so that's a positive. So hopefully he looks like there's a chance he could be involved at the weekend, which will be really good. Connor Thomas is back in full training. Again, a real positive for us. You know, I really like him in there. He had something different to the other players. And that's it.